Hey crew, I hope you have been liking the creative writing assignments that I have been giving you, and I want to keep that going. And so I was thinking a lot about imagination and how important that is, and how you can actually use cool things that you do to then become experiences you write about, whether in a journal or a diary, or to teach someone how to play a game. Thinking about Ted and the imagination that they use to play Monopoly Twister and Space Pirates, you are going to think of your own game. It could be a totally new made-up game that you've created, just like they did in the story. Or maybe you want to reinvent one you've already done, like I did Tic-Tac-Toe. So that's our mission for today, if you choose to accept. What game could you make up? Naya actually inspired me because she made this really cool game where you throw balls and tally up the points, and she thought of it with her own noodle. And so I want you to do that. And you could even think of a new way to play a game. So what I thought of was tic-tac-toe. Simple, everybody knows how to play it, and you could all make a version of tic-tac-toe for your house if you wanted to. So here's what I did. I went outside and collected some rocks. I got 5 rocks to be X's and 5 rocks to be O's. Then I came back inside and I painted them. Let me show you. Got some X's and some O's, and now I can play a really fun game and take it with me anywhere, right? And it's beautiful and showing craftsmanship. So that's step 1, make up a game. You could make tic-tac-toe if you want to. Then your second part is to write the directions and teach someone else how to play it or how to make it. And the ones that are the most awesome, and by awesome I don't mean like, ooh, I've never heard of that before, but have writing that makes sense, explain it well, we will post that for a crew challenge activity as well that you get to share with your class. So that would be really cool. Okay, so I made the game, now I have to write. Let me show you how that looks. Okay, everyone, so like I said, I made my own version of tic-tac-toe, and that was the assignment, right? Either rethink a new game and make it even cooler, or create your own. But once you do, I want you to write to explain how to make it and how to play it. Okay, and this is a different kind of writing. It's called how-to writing. And the point is to teach someone how to do something. In this case, it's how to make and play a tic-tac-toe. But as always, there are some success criteria that you need to follow to make sure your writing is nailing the assignment and doing our very best work. Okay, so first, you need to, as always, think and plan what the steps are that you want to teach someone, right? Then you need to write one step at a time. Now this is a little bit different in that we use transitional words, words like first, next, then, and last, or first, second, third. Transitional words are words that help move the story along. And this time also give a sequence so people know what they have to do first, next, and last so that they get the instructions right? If you were trying to build something and you did all the steps out of order, it probably wouldn't end up right? So this kind of writing, it's important that the steps are in order so that it makes sense. Okay, so last is to make sure that your steps make sense, right? You want to test it out. Is that what you would do? Would somebody understand? Try it out. And then, of course, as always, have nice handwriting, capitals and punctuation, and making sure that you're using those learned spelling patterns. Okay, we're going to try it, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so first I've got a spot for my title, right? I'm going to start with how to because that's what I want you to do. How to make and play tic-tac-toe. Okay, so you could make it more interesting if you wanted to, but I'm keeping mine straightforward. I want people to know that we are going to learn how to make it and how to play it. Okay, here's where I'm going to plan. In these boxes, I could do quick dash facts, I could do pictures, whatever is going to help me make sure that mine makes sense. So I'm going to plan it, and then I'll come right back, and we'll talk about what I did. Okay, now I have my plan. So I chose to do pictures and labels. Number one, I love to draw, and it's quick, right? So the first one is I need to get rocks. Pretty simple. I didn't write the whole sentence here. This is just a plan. Quick facts, right? So first, rocks. Then I say paint and the rocks and draw X's and O's. I could probably be more specific and write the label paint in case I have to take a break and eat some lunch or something and then I forget what the heck was I even talking about. So I'm going to paint the rocks and then I'm going to draw X's and O's on them. Then I need to find someone to play with, right? And draw my game board. Or maybe even make one out of sticks. I don't know. Maybe that's a cool addition to your rules. And then I have a little example of how you play tic-tac-toe to remind me that's going to be an important step. of that people need to get 3 X's or 3 O's, either going diagonal, up and down, or across. Okay, now that I have my plan, I'm going to be able to refer back to this and make sure I have each step. As I write, I'm going to check off that I have that step completed. All right, I'm going to get to writing, and I'm not going to make you listen to me as I go along, but I want you to remember that I am coming back to the success criteria. And as I write my steps, I'm making sure I'm doing one at a time. I'm using these words like first, next, then, and last. I'm making sure my steps make sense as well. If I really want to jazz it up, I could have an exciting topic sentence just like you did last week and say, ooh, does anyone want to learn how to play the game? I think I'll do that, and I'll show you what I mean, because I do want my reading to be interesting, right? Okay, I'll show you what it looks like. Be back in a second. I did a lot of writing. Of course, as usual, I needed more space because I tend to write a lot. I like to have a lot of details, and also I added some things so I really made sure that it made sense. So let's see what I've got. First, I did start with a topic sentence, just like we did in our last week's writing, because that gets the reader excited to know what's happening and why they should even read. Okay, so I've got this in green up here, because green means go. Do you want to make a new version of a classic game? See how I'm like a game show host trying to get you excited? Here's how to spice up the old favorite, tic-tac-toe. First, there's that transitional word telling my reader that if you're going to do this, this has to happen first. First, find some rocks. Nice, flat, and smooth ones are an awesome choice. Do you see how I even explained and added on to that detail? I could have just said, find some rocks. But there are certain rocks that work better. Smooth, flat ones make it easy to lay down and easy to write on. So I put that detail in. See this right here? Nice, flat, and smooth ones. Next, paint the rocks with your favorite colors. Again, I could have just said paint the rocks, but I chose to add in that detail, right? Paint or draw, and I realize right here this should have been different, X's or O's on 5 rocks each, right? I could go back and fix that if I wanted to. Then find someone to play with and create a game board. I could have even been more specific. I need to draw 2 lines down and 2 lines across. One person will be the X's and the other's the O's. Last, to play, one person needs 3 in a row, either diagonal, up and down, or left to right. That's how you make an updated version of tic-tac-toe. All right, I probably could have even added more details, but do notice that I have a conclusion sentence down here at the bottom that tells the reader that's how you play, right? Now, as a really good writer, having more steps of how to play the game is probably good, but I'm assuming that most people know how to play tic-tac-toe, and if not, I would need to do another writing of just how to play, right? If you're creating a new game, you probably need to spend more of the time on how to play, right? Okay, so I hope you take on this challenge of really exciting writing. This kind of writing isn't just for making games. You could teach someone how to make a recipe, how to build a toy, how to be a bird expert, how to create a painting, how to clean your room. The list goes on and on, right? It's a really important skill. So I can't wait to see what you create. Happy writing!